Stop being too friendly, because sometimes your kindness becomes your biggest weakness. Your open heart becomes a doorway for people who don't deserve to walk in, and your willingness to please others ends up costing you your peace. You see, there's a fine line between being kind and being used, between caring and being controlled, between love and losing yourself. You've been taught your whole life to be polite, to smile, to make everyone comfortable, but no one ever told you that constantly putting others first can make you disappear. You've been told that being nice is the right thing to do, but no one warned you that too much niceness can destroy your boundaries, your confidence, and even your sense of identity. You go through your days trying to be available, trying to be helpful, trying to be liked, but deep down you know that every time you say yes when your heart says no, a part of you breaks. You say yes to favors you don't want to do, yes to people who drain your energy, yes to situations that make you uncomfortable, and you do it because you don't want to hurt anyone. But what about you? What about your own needs, your own time, your own energy? Being friendly is a beautiful trait, but when it starts costing you your peace, it's no longer kindness, it's self-neglect. Stop being too friendly with people who only call you when they need something. Stop giving unlimited chances to those who keep disappointing you. Stop opening your door to those who never show up when you're the one in need. You owe it to yourself to be kind but firm, loving but discerning, compassionate but not naive. You owe it to yourself to stop trying to be the savior of everyone around you. You're not responsible for fixing people who refuse to heal. You're not required to sacrifice your happiness for the comfort of others. Being too friendly can sometimes mean you're afraid of confrontation, afraid of being disliked, afraid of people walking away. But here's the truth. The wrong people will leave no matter what you do, and the right ones will stay even if you start saying no. It's time to stop confusing approval with love. You don't need everyone to like you. You need to like yourself when you look in the mirror. You don't need to please the world. You need to live in a way that feels honest and free. People might call you rude when you set boundaries, but that's because they were benefiting from your lack of them. They'll say you've changed when you stop being too available, but that's because your growth no longer serves their comfort. Remember this, you're not obligated to be friendly at the expense of your truth. The world doesn't need more people who smile through pain. It needs people who are real, honest, and strong enough to protect their energy. There's nothing wrong with saying no. There's nothing wrong with being selective about your circle. There's nothing wrong with choosing peace over popularity. You can still be kind and assertive, compassionate and confident, loving and guarded. You can love people deeply without letting them walk all over you. You can be helpful without being used. You can care without losing control. You have to start realizing that not everyone deserves your light, and it's okay to keep your warmth for those who truly value it. Stop being too friendly with people who gossip about you behind your back. Stop laughing at jokes that disrespect your worth. Stop pretending to be fine with things that bother you. The moment you stop being too friendly, you start being honest. And honesty is where real self-respect begins. You start showing people how to treat you, and those who can't handle your truth will naturally fall away. Let them. Don't chase. Don't explain. Don't shrink. You are allowed to say no without guilt. You are allowed to rest without apologizing. You are allowed to be your own priority. And here's something most people don't understand. Being too friendly doesn't just affect your relationships. It affects your success, your focus, and your potential. When you're constantly available for everyone, you leave no energy for yourself. When you're constantly listening to everyone else's problems, your own dreams get quieter. When you constantly put everyone before you, your own life starts to fade in the background. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And yet, that's exactly what too many people do. They keep pouring, giving, smiling, saying yes, until they're exhausted, resentful, and lost. Then one day, they wake up and wonder, when did I stop feeling alive? That's what happens when you make friendliness a mask for fear. Because deep down, being too friendly often hides a wound. The wound of wanting to be accepted, the wound of rejection, the wound of never feeling enough. But you are enough, even when you're not available to everyone. You are worthy, even when you say no. You are lovable, even when you draw a line. You don't have to keep proving your goodness through sacrifice. You don't have to earn love through compliance. True strength is not in how much you give, but in knowing when to stop giving. True confidence is not in being liked by everyone, but in being respected by yourself. You have to stop apologizing for outgrowing people. You have to stop apologizing for wanting peace. You have to stop apologizing for finally putting yourself first. There's nothing selfish about self-respect. There's nothing arrogant about protecting your energy. There's nothing wrong with choosing distance over drama. The more you respect yourself, the more life respects you back. When you stop being too friendly, you start attracting people who value depth over convenience, honesty over flattery, truth over comfort. You start standing firm even when you're alone. You start saying no, not out of anger, but out of love. Love for yourself, love for your boundaries, love for your peace. Remember, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow, by what you accept, by what you keep forgiving. Stop forgiving the same disrespect. Stop explaining the same boundary. Stop giving your energy to people who only take. It's time to protect your soul. It's time to be kind without being naive. It's time to understand that friendliness is a gift, not a duty. You're not here to be everyone's friend. You're here to live a meaningful, authentic life. So, start showing up for yourself the way you show up for others. Start cheering for your own dreams the way you cheer for everyone else's. Start treating your own heart with the same tenderness you give away so easily. Because the truth is, you've been too friendly for too long. You've smiled through too much pain, tolerated too much nonsense, stayed quiet when you should have spoken up. But that ends now. No more shrinking. No more apologizing for your standards. No more letting people walk over your kindness. From today, your friendliness will have boundaries. Your compassion will have wisdom. Your love will have strength. You don't have to be cold, but you do have to be clear. You don't have to be harsh, but you do have to be honest. You don't have to be everyone's favorite, but you do have to be your own priority. People might say you've changed. Take that as a compliment. It means you've stopped betraying yourself to keep others comfortable. It means you've learned that peace is better than popularity. It means you've realized that not everyone deserves access to your energy. When you stop being too friendly, you create space for better things, peace, purpose, and people who truly care. You'll notice that your circle gets smaller, but your peace gets bigger. You'll start to feel lighter, stronger, freer. You'll finally understand that you don't need to be liked to be loved, and you don't need to be friendly to be kind. You just need to be real. Because authenticity is the highest form of respect for yourself and for others. The world doesn't need more people who say yes to everything. It needs more people who mean what they say. It needs more people who protect their energy, who live with purpose, who lead with integrity. So stop being too friendly, start being real, and watch how everything changes. The friendships that remain will be honest. The love that comes will be pure. The peace that follows will be priceless. You owe it to yourself to build a life that doesn't depend on the approval of others. You owe it to yourself to stop letting guilt guide your generosity. You owe it to yourself to say, I matter too. Because you do. Your time matters. Your heart matters. Your boundaries matter. And anyone who truly values you will never make you feel bad for honoring those things. Stop being too friendly and start being fearless. Fearless enough to walk away from fake smiles. Fearless enough to protect your energy. Fearless enough to love yourself enough to stop performing for people who never cared. You don't need to explain your growth to anyone. You don't need to justify your peace. The people meant for you will understand your silence better than the wrong ones ever understood your words. Life is too short to spend it proving your goodness to those who only notice it when it benefits them. So, take your power back. Be kind, but don't be controlled. Be generous, but not gullible. Be friendly, but not at the cost of your soul. Let your energy be sacred, your time be precious, your heart be protected. Because when you finally stop being too friendly, you start becoming truly free. Free to live, free to love, free to be yourself. Because the truth is, you can spend your entire life trying to make everyone else happy and still end up feeling empty. You can smile, you can serve, you can give until there's nothing left in you, and yet, the people you sacrifice for might never see your effort, might never appreciate your heart, might never return the same energy. And you know what? That's not your fault. It's not your job to carry people who refuse to walk beside you. It's not your duty to please those who only see your value when it benefits them. There comes a point when you realize that being too friendly has cost you more than it's ever given you. It's cost you time you can't get back, peace you can't replace, and confidence you can't rebuild overnight. It's cost you your boundaries, your focus, your fire. But here's the thing, awareness changes everything. Once you see how much of yourself you've given away, you can't go back to pretending that it doesn't hurt. You start to notice how often you say it's okay when it's not. You start to notice how often you smile when you want to cry. You start to realize that your niceness has become a mask that hides your exhaustion. You've been showing up for everyone, but who's showing up for you? You've been the listener, the helper, the comforter, but when you're the one who needs support, the silence around you gets louder. That's when it hits you. Being too friendly doesn't mean being loved. Sometimes it just means being used. But that awareness, that pain, becomes your turning point. It's the moment you decide that kindness will no longer come at the cost of your soul. It's the moment you choose authenticity over approval. It's the moment you decide that peace matters more than popularity. And from that moment on, your life begins to shift. You stop over-explaining yourself to people who have already decided how to misunderstand you. You stop forcing connections that drain your energy. You stop chasing people who make you question your worth. Instead, you begin to rise, quietly, powerfully, gracefully. You begin to realize that saying no is not cruelty, it's clarity. You begin to see that walking away is not weakness, it's wisdom. You begin to feel that being selective is not arrogance, it's alignment. Because when you stop being too friendly, you begin to make space for real connections, people who see you, value you, and respect your boundaries. You begin to surround yourself with energy that doesn't demand you to shrink. You start living in a way that feels honest, not performative. And that honesty is freedom. It's peace. It's strength. There's a version of you that's waiting on the other side of your people-pleasing. A version that speaks up when something doesn't feel right. A version that stops apologizing for existing. A version that no longer feels guilty for saying no. That version of you is powerful beyond measure, and it's time to meet them. Stop being too friendly, because the world doesn't reward those who blend in. It rewards those who stand firm. Too often, we believe that being liked will make life easier, but what truly makes life meaningful is being respected. People will forget your smiles, but they'll remember your strength. They'll remember the moment you stopped letting them take advantage of your kindness. They'll remember the day you started to stand tall, no matter who left. Because the truth is, you won't lose the right people by setting boundaries. You'll only lose those who are using you. Let them go. Let go of the guilt, the pressure, the expectation to be the nice one all the time. Let go of the fear of being misunderstood. Let go of the urge to explain your every move. Your life is not a public service announcement. You don't owe anyone access to your peace. You don't owe everyone your time. You don't owe the world your energy on demand. And it's time you start collecting that debt. You've spent so long trying to be enough for others that you've forgotten you were already enough from the beginning. You don't have to earn love by being convenient. You don't have to earn respect by being endlessly available. You don't have to earn belonging by overgiving. Real love, real respect, real belonging, they never ask you to lose yourself to keep them. They honor your boundaries. They celebrate your growth. They appreciate your honesty. So, when you stop being too friendly, what you're really doing is making room for what's real. You're clearing out the noise, the users, the takers, the fakes, the ones who only show up when it suits them. You're building a life rooted in authenticity. And yes, it will feel lonely at first. It will feel strange when you stop replying immediately, when you stop saying yes, when you stop over-apologizing for things that weren't even your fault. But that silence, that space, that solitude, it's sacred. It's where you heal. It's where you rediscover who you are when you're not performing for approval. It's where you learn to sit with yourself and feel safe in your own company. It's where you stop needing validation and start trusting your intuition. And when that happens, you become unstoppable. Because now your energy isn't scattered, it's focused. Your love isn't wasted, it's intentional. Your time isn't taken, it's invested. You start building boundaries not from bitterness, but from clarity. You stop reacting and start choosing. You stop pleasing and start leading. You stop giving your power away and start owning it. And the most beautiful part? You start inspiring others to do the same. Because strength is contagious. When people see you standing in your truth, they start rethinking their own patterns. They start asking themselves why they've been giving so much to people who never reciprocate. They start realizing that it's okay to stop being too friendly, too available, too forgiving. Your transformation becomes a mirror for others. You show them that kindness doesn't mean compliance, that love doesn't mean losing yourself, that strength and softness can exist together. And that's how you change the world. Not by pleasing everyone, but by being real enough to be yourself. You see, too many people mistake silence for agreement and your friendliness for weakness. They think your forgiveness means they can keep crossing lines. They assume your patience means you'll never walk away. But one day, they'll realize that your kindness wasn't free, it was earned. And when you stop giving it to those who abused it, they'll feel the difference. That's the moment you reclaim your worth. That's the moment you stop surviving and start living. Because real living begins when you stop seeking external approval and start finding inner peace. You stop asking, do they like me? And start asking, do I like who I am around them? You stop thinking, am I enough for them? And start realizing, they're not enough for my peace. You stop giving second chances that cost your sanity. You stop trying to convince people of your value. You stop waiting for reciprocity from those who only know how to take. And you start moving forward, not with anger, but with power. Because growth doesn't require bitterness. It requires boundaries. You don't have to hate anyone to heal. You don't have to be cruel to change. You just have to stop overextending yourself for those who never meet you halfway. You just have to stop being too friendly to those who never show real care. It's not selfish to protect yourself. It's survival. It's not arrogance to value your energy. It's maturity. It's not rude to say no. It's self-respect. Remember, your time and energy are the most valuable currencies you own. Don't spend them on people who can't afford your presence. Don't waste them trying to fix those who broke you. Don't invest them in places that never gave you peace. Instead, invest them in your growth, your goals, your healing, your future. Because the moment you stop being too friendly with everyone, you finally become friendly with yourself. And that's the relationship that changes everything. You start waking up with purpose, not pressure. You start feeling proud of your silence, not guilty for your boundaries. Because once you begin to live for yourself, something extraordinary happens. Your world changes from the inside out. The fog that once made everything blurry starts to lift. You begin to see people for who they truly are, not for who you wish they would be. You begin to recognize that some people only loved the version of you that never said no, the version that was convenient, quiet, and always available. When you finally stop being too friendly, you realize that the peace you were searching for was buried under your need to be liked. It was buried under every forced smile, every swallowed word, every fake "it's fine." You start to breathe differently. You start to walk differently. You start to speak differently. You start to live with a kind of calm that doesn't depend on anyone's reaction. You don't wake up wondering who you've upset or who you've disappointed. You wake up knowing that you've honored yourself, and that is enough. Because self-respect isn't loud, it's steady. It's the quiet knowing that you don't have to beg for what's meant for you. It's the gentle power that comes from not chasing people who walk away. It's the deep confidence that comes when you realize your worth doesn't shrink just because someone else couldn't see it. Stop being too friendly to people who only come close when they want to feel powerful. Stop letting your kindness become their playground. You are not a safety net for those who keep falling into the same patterns. You are not a therapist for those who refuse to change. You are not a battery for those who drain you just to recharge themselves. You have dreams to chase, goals to achieve, a purpose to fulfill. You cannot spend your whole life putting out everyone else's fires while yours burns out quietly inside. You can't keep saying it's okay when you're the one losing sleep, losing focus, losing yourself. Because here's the truth. No one's going to hand you back the energy you've wasted. You have to reclaim it yourself. But that's okay. Let them call you what they want, because you've spent too long being what they needed. Now it's time to be who you were meant to be. People will notice the change. They'll say, "You're different." And you'll smile, because you'll finally know that different means stronger. Different means wiser. Different means you've learned to love yourself in a way that doesn't require permission. You see, being too friendly is often just another word for fear. Fear of rejection, fear of confrontation, fear of being alone. But what if I told you that on the other side of that fear is the life you've always wanted? A life where your boundaries are respected. A life where your energy feels sacred. A life where your relationships are real. The moment you stop living for approval, you start living for alignment. You start meeting people who match your energy instead of draining it. You start finding friends who listen without judgment, love without conditions, and show up without excuses. You start attracting opportunities that align with your purpose because your energy finally speaks your truth. The universe responds to clarity, not confusion. And being too friendly sends a message of confusion, that your time, your love, your energy are free for the taking. But when you stand tall in your boundaries, when you say no with confidence and yes with intention, you send a different message. I know my worth. And that energy changes everything. It changes the people you attract, the opportunities you receive, and the peace you feel inside. Stop being too friendly, because your future depends on your ability to say no. The person you're becoming requires discipline, not distraction. And most distractions come dressed as friendly faces. They come as invitations to places you don't belong, conversations that waste your time, relationships that drain your spirit. You've got too much potential to keep giving your energy away like candy. It's time to stop being too friendly with people who never think twice about how their actions affect you. Start protecting your peace like it's gold, because it is. Start valuing your energy like it's limited, because it is. Start living like your heart matters, because it does. You can still be friendly without being foolish. You can still be generous without being exploited. You can still care deeply without losing yourself. That's what emotional maturity looks like, knowing when to give and when to guard, when to speak and when to stay silent, when to hold on and when to let go. And if you're afraid that setting boundaries will make people leave, remember this. Anyone who leaves because you stop being too friendly was never meant to stay. Real ones don't run when you stand up for yourself. They respect you more for it. They understand that boundaries aren't walls, they're gates. Gates that keep the wrong energy out and the right energy in. Gates that protect what's sacred. Your peace, your growth, your future. You've got to learn to close the gate sometimes, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because comfort is what kept you stuck in the first place. Growth begins where comfort ends. And sometimes, growth means letting go of people who once felt like home, but now feel like a burden. That's not cruelty. That's evolution. You're allowed to outgrow people who refuse to grow with you. You're allowed to outgrow conversations that don't feed your mind. You're allowed to outgrow environments that don't support your purpose. You're allowed to outgrow being too friendly. Because friendliness without boundaries becomes self-betrayal, and you've done enough of that. You've been the nice one, the patient one, the understanding one. Now it's time to be the strong one, the focused one, the peaceful one. Let your silence speak for you. Let your actions set the tone. Let your new boundaries remind the world that your kindness is a privilege, not a weakness. The people who truly deserve you will never take it for granted. They'll match your energy. They'll respect your time. They'll appreciate your honesty. And when that happens, you'll realize something powerful. The more you respect yourself, the easier it becomes to attract people who do the same. Respect isn't demanded, it's mirrored. Energy doesn't lie. When you start treating yourself like you matter, the world starts reflecting that truth back to you. That's why stopping the habit of being too friendly is so important. It's not just about people, it's about energy, direction, and self-worth. The more you learn to protect your energy, the more peace you'll feel. And peace is priceless. Peace is not something you find outside. It's something you build inside. It grows stronger every time you choose yourself over chaos. It expands every time you walk away from fake friends and false promises. It deepens every time you trust your intuition more than other people's opinions. You deserve that kind of peace. The kind that isn't shaken by others' behavior, the kind that doesn't depend on external approval. So stop being too friendly. Be kind, but guarded. Be giving, but grounded. Be compassionate, but courageous enough to say no. Your life is not a popularity contest. It's a journey of purpose. You're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to become the best version of yourself. And that version of you will not emerge if you keep shrinking for people who refuse to grow. You can't be everyone's safe space and your own savior at the same time. Choose you. Choose your growth. Choose your peace. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with the choices you make. And the most powerful choice you can ever make is to stop being too friendly, start being real, and let that authenticity guide every step of your journey.